I'm Casey Janes. Joining me today is Nicholas Walsh, the mastermind behind the project Fire for Effect.
Thank you, Casey. Great to be here.
Well, you've had you on before and talked about Fire for Effect. We're going to talk a little more in depth today about your fundraiser to raise funds to get this whole film project together because obviously out of pocket that is a mighty undertaking. But before we get into the fundraiser portion of it, let's talk a little bit about what Fire for Effect is for those that haven't heard yet.
Sure. Fire for Effect is a grassroots history of the Vietnam War here in Decatur, Illinois, and the greater Decatur area. We take this large and historically wide event and we place it within the context of local history. We do that by utilizing local newspapers and, of course, interviews with veterans and the families who lost loved ones in the war as well.
Now, this raffle is being done in conjunction with the Mount Zion Armory and the VFW John R. Smith and Arthur Glenn Martin Memorial Post 5224. What are you selling these raffle tickets for, and what are they doing with you to get this all together?
Well, I've teamed up with local Vietnam veterans, Ron Patrick and George Frank, two individuals that I interviewed for the film. And we're basically working on securing some funds to help me pay for copyrighted material. All the different media resources that I want to use are owned by other people. These media resources, they involve local veterans and their stories. For example, Life magazine did a piece in 1969 entitled "1 Week's Dead in Vietnam." David Mills and Robert Getz from Decatur were among those listed as being killed in action. I'd like to use that magazine to tell their stories, of course, and also make contact with the families. But for example, on a happier note, local veteran Jim Jeremiah served as a medic with the 1st Cavalry Division in Vietnam. His unit, Charlie Company, was featured in a 1979 CBS documentary film by the same name. There on the trailer that can be found under Nicholas Walsh on YouTube, Jim talks a little bit about that experience. I'd like to be able to use the actual versions of those films to help tell that story.
Now, what are the prizes for this event going to be?
Well, we've teamed up with the Mount Zion Armory. Jim Owens is working on a AR-15 that will be designed with the appearance and style of an M16, which is the primary weapon used by American soldiers in Vietnam. That's our first prize. Our second prize will be a Colt 1911 pistol.
And what do winners have to have in order to get this?
Well, the winner of the raffle items will have to have a valid FOID card to claim their prize. Our drawing is going to be held on October 24th. That's a Saturday coming up a little while from now, but we want to get these tickets out there and make sure the public knows. We'll have more information about some events in the future, but the thing I want everybody to know is that you do not need to be present at that event to win the prizes.
Well, how can you get tickets, and how much do they cost, and how many are you selling? Because I know it's a limited number.
Sure, we're selling 500 tickets total. They cost $20 a piece, or 3 tickets for $50 can also be purchased. A lot of people have been going with that option. Tickets can be purchased at the Mount Zion Armory. They can also be purchased by messaging me via Facebook under Nicholas Walsh. I also have another Facebook page where you can find out more about the project as well. That would be Decatur, Illinois Vietnam Film Project, Fire for Effect. Or you can give me a call at 630-992-3113, and I'll be happy to make a delivery of those tickets within the greater Decatur area.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add to this?
Well, we just hope to have a lot of support from the community, to have the means to be able to tell a very important, I think, a relevant story. And it just allows me to be able to do that with more resources than what are currently available.
Well, that was Nicholas Walsh, the creator of the Fire for Effect film project. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you, Casey.